We live. We back, man. We back. Doing it live again while I wait for the homies to show up. But this is gonna be a good show. I'm gonna have some more stuff for us to react to this time. Uh yeah, so Caleb gonna be here and then Mike gonna be tapping in. I'm gonna add them in as the stream goes. And then I had a couple people who wanted to listen in on the stream because they coming back from work and they wanted us to go live. So, you know, it's a community. If y'all want to listen to the live, I'm gonna get y'all the live, man. So while y'all in here or when y'all get here, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna drop this in the beginning because I forgot to do it on the last one, so everybody could watch later on. So yeah, bro, we live, man. Got some interesting narratives to cover, man. But first and foremost, the Celtics said, "Don't let us get one," which I thought was kind of crazy that they was coming out the gate saying, "Don't let us get one." Like, come on, bro. You gotta at least, you know what I'm saying? You gotta at least come in here and do some work. Like, y'all's down 0-3. Like, you can't be talking like that. But I guess you gotta have that type of confidence to be able to produce and perform the way they did the past two games. So not only did they get one, they got two. They got two. So, you know, they backed up what they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And they do have home court if they do push this to 7 games. And the Heat have been shooting the ball terribly. They've gone like back to their regular season shooting, bro. So yeah, my boy Chaz in the chat is litty. It's litty, man. We gonna get the rest of the gang in here. It's gonna get active. But back to the Celtics. They look like themselves. The last like regular podcast forum I gave y'all, we we said, or I said, I ain't gonna say we, I said the Celtics will win a game of talent alone. And they did more than talent. They got that, it seemed like they got that identity back. They playing the way the Celtics usually play, which is play defense, shoot threes at a high clip. And that's what they did. So I think the Celtics is doing a great job at what they doing right now, man. Y'all see the little lights, trying a little different setup with the camera this time. But without further ado, you know what I'm saying? We got a narrative. Oh, and I still got the Heat before I move on. I still got the Heat winning this series. I think Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler let them know the severity of it. They still got the severity. I don't even know what I just said. The severity of you know the series, man. So I think they're a mentally tough team. They got they got it in their DNA. Udonis has them. Jimmy Butler's been there before. They got some of that core there. Hopefully, Gabe Vincent can come back and play. But yeah, they gonna need his shooting because looked ugly. But LeBron, well, undisputed, came out with something today that I wanted to touch on, and I thought it was interesting because they actually said LeBron had a bit of an injury. I knew he was a little hobbled, but I didn't know the extent of it. But we'll get through this little ad. Through this little ad. You know what I'm saying? Get that together. That together. That's the wrong tab. You know. There you go. There him go. Got him up. Start it over. Start it over. Run that back.
This is not anything shocking. Everybody knew this. Everybody knew they saw LeBron.
So LeBron reportedly played the last few months with a torn tendon in his foot. Yeah, you know, he was in a walking boot before the series, even like before the end of the regular season. So, we knew he was hurt, but okay. Does it change the playoff run? Does it change your view of the playoff run? It added to the playoff run if he was hurt or not, bro. Um, Me being me, I've seen my fair share of injuries. I'm not saying every athlete is LeBron, but when you decide to come out on the court, on the field, wrestling mat, the track, and you put yourself out there, you got to perform like you was 100%. You may not perform to 100%, but that's what's expected because nobody's gonna give you excuses. And LeBron knows that nobody's gonna give him nobody's giving LeBron any type of excuse. It doesn't matter if his age, he's gonna get judged like he's 25 or like he's in Miami. It doesn't matter if he's hurt, he's gonna get judged like he was healthy. And he did it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna critique him, everybody gonna give their 2 cents. Whether it's fair or not, hey. But let's get into what Uncle Shay had to say.
How he played from his birthday to February 7th. We heard him say, I heard a pop. We came out here and talked about it. And Skip said, well, you heard a pop? How you still playing?
He kept playing. He played right through it.
Did he say he heard a pop?
He did see it.
Okay. What did Sean report?
We're showing the play right here, I believe. Yep. Okay. It was a sort of a non-contact.
Yeah. He said, I heard a pop.
Okay.
He said, I heard a pop.
Why do they not have the rights or something? What's up with that? They always do this when I be seeing these little clips. Like they have a clip that they want to watch, but only Skip and Shannon can see it. That's it's weird, but whatever, man. I'm sure we could find it somewhere.
Okay. And then he played 10 minutes of that fourth quarter. That was late third.
Yes.
He played 10 minutes. He scored 11 more points. He made 5 out of 9 shots, 1 of 3 from 3. Didn't get the free throw line, but he still scored 11 points through the fourth quarter, and they hung on to win 111 to 108.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just for the record, that's what happened.
Gabe Benson sprained his ankle. We saw it.
Yeah.
He came back in the game and played the rest of the game, right?
Yep.
He missed the following game, right?
He went up to the locker room.
But did he come back out and play?
Just a little bit. He didn't play very much because the game was
out of hand,
completely out of control.
So the question is, I'm asking you, from December 30th to February 7th,
based off the little bit that Skip just said, he about to say some BS when Shannon proposed this question to him. I just know it, bro. Because of that little Gabe Vincent thing.
He was a 100% healthy. And after he said he heard the pop, did you notice any difference in LeBron James' play? Yes or no?
Maybe some, but did you notice any difference in the first quarter of Game 4?
Skip.
What happened in the first quarter of Game 4?
Skip, see,
I told y'all, bro. He go get on here. You ain't gonna give him no excuse, bro. I'm not gonna give him an excuse because he played, but obviously the man was hurt. He was playing hurt, but he not gonna get any type of flack. He not getting nothing off of him.
That's the thing.
No, but I mean, did he play?
Yes, he played.
And
Skip, when you're injured, you can give it to you once in a while.
I'm not doubting he's injured. I'm just saying.
How do you go from being player of the month for the month of January, averaging 35 points a game, to all of a sudden you missing point blank layups?
He's 38. 38. He's 38, still hooping on these boys.
You see LeBron was not elevating like he was during that stretch. So you chalk it up to Father Time?
I don't know. Maybe. Okay. But I also scored 21 points in the first quarter was what? The other night. It was the most points he's ever scored in any playoff quarter.
So
then he went on to score 10 in the second quarter, which gave him the most points he's ever scored in a half of a playoff game. 31 points.
Prior to that, so from that stretch, from December, so the 6-week stretch, December 30th.
Bron had to get hit with that Toradol shot before the game and got one at halftime because he ran off. He ran off with 3 seconds left at the end of that half of that Nuggets game. If y'all was watching it live, if y'all cared, if y'all stayed up, if y'all on the East Coast with me, he ran off to the locker room with 3 seconds left. I think whatever they gave him, an I-8, an I-600, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, it probably wore off a little bit because he was doing all that. Most points of your career and you pushing 40, that foot was stinging. That foot was stinging.
February 7th. Did you notice LeBron James at any point paced himself? You saw how many chase downs did he have? He was getting 2, 3 chase.
Time out. Why are you? Look, this is old news. We already did this.
No. But
it's very old news.
No, but the thing is that you.
I believe something was wrong. I told you something was wrong. I told you what I got a hold of a prominent surgeon, national surgeon who does a whole lot of NBA players. They sent him the X-rays at this point, right after this pop game.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, can you consult on this? And he said, I looked at it. I didn't see a tendon problem as much as I saw both
W
ankles
journalism.
just a mess because he's got so much scar tissue. He thought that he was going to need some ankle surgery cleanup. So I told you, yes, he's hurt. He is struggling on both ankles because how many times have we watched him turn it? You think Gabe Vincent turned his ankle? I've seen LeBron turn the knob of his ankle bone to the floor.
Yes.
I've seen it. I know what that feels like from running shoes. It is horrible. And how many times, Shannon, has he popped right up during the game and just shook off his ankle turn?
Man, I don't know what he be on, bro. But I had some bad ankle injuries in high school. And let me tell you, bro, when you sprain your ankle, if y'all don't know, you tearing tendons in your ankle. But they can tape it up to where, if y'all don't know, if y'all athletes in here, if anybody watching this, they tape it up so it's just stable enough that it don't move. Like, go watch an ankle taping video and come back here. They tape it up so that joint don't move at all. And I was wearing like mid-top cleats and all that. And for some reason, when I went to low-top cleats, I didn't have no more ankle problems. Like, I don't know if I built the callus, if it was mental, placebo effect, say what it is. But them ankle injuries is no joke, bro. Even if you ever just buckled it, you stepped on it wrong, came off weird on the trampoline, just hooping, bro. But his ankle touched the ground. And this man just get up and play a professional basketball game. It's crazy for anybody, let alone LeBron.
And played through it.
Right.
Well, at some point, if you play the most minutes ever in again, playoff plus regular, it's your ankles are going to wear out if you do that enough. So whatever it is, it could be a tendon, it could be the ankles. I don't know. I just tell you what I told. I believe he's got some issues that need to be surgically addressed. I think you can scope them. I don't think it's going to require a big surgery on the tendon.
Well, I was at a couple of games, and it seemed like every time he came out of the game, he would take that shoe off and he would roll it over something. Because from his birthday until he passed Kareem on February 7th, he averaged 34 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He shot 52% from the floor, 34% from three, and he was chasing out. He was unstoppable. After the injury, 10 points fewer, the same amount of rebounds, 2 assists, 4 percentage points, and 5 percentage points from three.
Okay.
Difference.
I got it. I'm not arguing, but this was not news to me, and I think you.
Glad y'all had to send Mike the link.
This is old story, right?
For me,
hey, and you say you don't listen to the sound.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I heard through 3 rounds of the playoffs, LeBron's playing on a hurt foot. It was constant. It was a barrage of LeBron's playing on a bad foot.
Well, I didn't have no sources. I'm just looking.
I kind of think that narrative, while it was true, that narrative that was getting pushed, it got overshadowed by the Grizzlies series, the Dylan Brooks stir up in the media. I think it got sidelined by, them 8th seed about to beat the team that was the number 2 team in the West all year. And then then they go on in the series and they dominate for the most part. Well, they won the series, they dominated. They beat the defending champ. So a lingering foot injury when you beat the defending champ and then beat the second top team, you beat that second top team. So I think when you beat the defending champ and you beat the second seeded team in the West, Grizzlies, a foot injury to that point, you get swept under the rug. Yeah, people knew it. Or if you're keeping up with Lakers basketball and LeBron James injuries, which I don't think a lot of people are, it got swept under the rug. It was a lot of stuff going on in the playoffs, man. Nobody was really thinking about that. So, yeah, it's true. But was it at the forefront of all this? Absolutely not.
just watching him from my television and then watching him the way he played before that injury and then seeing him after that injury. Oh, it was clear to me. I didn't need a doctor to tell me that there's something wrong with his foot.
Okay.
Or something. I know something's wrong with his foot. But even if the doctor hadn't told me it was a foot, I would know something was wrong.
My issue with LeBron in the 4 games against Denver was simply this: hurt or no, I'll give you hurt. Yeah. But you're still LeBron bleeping James. And 4 straight times against the team that will be picked to be favored over whichever team comes out. I'm pretty sure Denver's going to be favored over if it's Boston or definitely over Miami.
Yes.
Because Miami's a 3.5-point dog at home to Boston.
Correct.
Would Denver be favored over Boston?
It's going to be close. Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost even money probably.
Okay. Speaking of even money, the Lakers had 4 straight chances. And I thought this was going to be a home-and-home series. I thought it was going to go 7, and I gave Denver the slight edge in a game 7 in Denver, only because it was mile-high Denver.
Okay.
The point is, they just needed a shot here or there, a clutch play here or there, a defensive play here or there, just something.
Right.
Because every time it came to push or shove in the fourth quarter, either Joker or Jamal made a play. And it could be offense or defense. Even Jamal's last play on LeBron on the drive.
Right.
They made the pivotal key play where you look back and you say, oh, but he did that, right? He did that. It's time.
Sauce guy.
You gotta.
Right.
And they had 4 straight chances. That's why this whole.
And that's what's so frustrating about it. And that's why if the Heat didn't sweep the Celtics, but let's say in this scenario, the Heat have swept the Celtics, right? And the Lakers got swept. Miami handled Boston in those games. The Heat played better, but in those games, the Lakers lost and the Lakers got swept. It didn't feel like one of those dominating, the heart-crushing sweeps. Like Jamal has some out-of-body games. Michael Porter Jr. played good. KCP played good. Jokic was dropping 30-point triple-doubles. Historic. He broke Wilt Chamberlain's record. So, and the Lakers still were hanging around. They had double-digit leads at points. They came back from down 20 at points. So it wasn't like they just got, took behind the woodshed and got spanked on. But at the end of the day, it was competitive. But they did not win them games. And that's just what it was. So, like, are all sweeps created equal? No. But a sweep is a sweep. They didn't get it done when it mattered the most in the fourth, but it looked like my boy is about to join the stream. He thought he wasn't seen, but Cub about to join the stream right now.
What's good? I can't hear me.
What's good with you, Brody?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I bet I'm trying to these new mics. We tapped in. What's the word?
What's good, bro? We live. We live. This is live.
I'm seeing our CEO Skip Bayless.
So we tapping in. I was trying to kill some time. You know what I'm saying? We had some people who wanted to listen live. So
For sure.
we doing it live. How you doing, bro? What's good with it?
Yeah, we back, man.
It's Good Friday.
What we got going on, man? What we talking about? Let me throw my spin in it. We talking about the sweep.
No, we ain't really talking about the sweep. So I was just harping on the point that Skip Bayless was on, and I kind of wanted to pick on it a little bit. But once we get through this, I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna get my 2 cents, and then you can hop in and get your 2 cents, and we can do it like that.
Bet.
Idea. Let's blow up the roster and start. Why?
No.
I loved what I saw. Give this roster a whole training camp and a whole year to figure itself out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So all I know is my disappointment with LeBron, and it could be, you can attribute at least part of it to whatever foot injury he had, is that he went 7 of 23 in the 4 fourth quarters. He's better than that. 7 of 23. That's
from
30%.
3, though, right?
No, from the field,
Okay.
from the floor. He was 1 of 10 from 3 in the 4 fourth quarters.
Yes.
And then for
Here is our top 3 tips to get your
No, we ain't doing no ads, so that's gonna be the end of that. But yeah, dog. in so many words, they go on to say, the gist of the video was Skip and Shannon was talking about LeBron having a torn tendon in his foot,
Mm-hmm.
like for like the last half of the season. I don't know if you saw, but like he had the boot on the whole nine.
Yeah.
Bro was hurt. So yeah, man. I basically said it ain't really nobody really cared about it because they was winning. You know, winning covers everything up. So they was playing the defending champs. They was playing the 2 seed, and they beat him in both rounds. So nobody's going to talk about his injuries or the Lakers like real weaknesses other than they was underdogs. So, and I said he not going to get no excuse because you know what I'm saying. When you get on the field, like I'm gonna say this all the time. We play football. If you get on the field, you're expected to play like you 100% because everybody
Mhm.
gonna expect you to be 100% even if you ain't feeling it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I ain't really going. Nobody gonna give LeBron no excuses. Like they was playing. I feel like even if he was 100%, like even if he had a couple of extra pushes, everybody else around him wasn't playing. Was so.
Yeah. D'Lo was terrible
I mean,
these
D'Lo's
these
terrible.
last couple games. Then the thing, D'Lo's terrible. Then everybody was expecting AD to be the first game AD, you know what I mean, like that, and it was very sporadic. So Austin Reeves showed out, but again, we had Schroeder going 5 points and falling out in game 3. So it's like he could only do so much, you know what I mean? And
Hold
so
on.
Porter Cass got to hold you down. What the word is.
They just ended the stream.
For real?
Oh no, we back. We back. I think it's because it was the first take video. Oh, not the first take, the undisputed joint.
About to say, because I'm live over here.
No, I had to check my phone because I just got a text from Taryn. But yeah, I said the joint got suspended. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that video was playing.
yeah. Yep. So they cut us. Dang, that's sick. That's sick. We back though. That's sick. They was not messing with the undisputed clips at all. At all. I thought as long as you was commentating on it, like you was cool, but I guess not. I guess not.
Man, they cut them shits fast as hell.
Yeah, they definitely cut it off, but we still live. We back. Said they put us in timeout. Chad said they put us in timeout, man.
Put us in timeout.
Yeah, no more of that. Well, we got the panel now, so like we don't really need that. That was for the solo act to get it started.
We back with it. When he ain't gotta go with that. We back with it.
Yeah, we live, bro.
We live.
So, oh man, yeah, they funny. They funny. Man, like, so my next thing was I talked about it solo by myself on the live stream, but do you think if LeBron was healthy, or is it fair to judge a 38-year-old LeBron to, let's say, a 30-year-old LeBron, or even 26?
I do think it's fair based off the fact that he has set that standard. It'd be different if he was a player teetering off. You know how players, they get to his age, they only giving you 10 and 5. You know what I mean? Certain players, when they get to his age, they really just role players and or falling off. So at the end of the day, when you got a player of his caliber, like LeBron James again, 38 years old, playing at a high clip, can give you 40 points, but potentially almost every game, if that's the game plan. I think it's fair to criticize him like he's a 26-year-old LeBron, you know what I mean, 30-year-old LeBron, things like that, because he's still playing.
I'm gonna say this. I think that was a good reason to say why he should be judged like that, but I'm gonna say no, for the simple fact that, and yeah, before we get started, I'm gonna say if you're getting compared to the best of the best, we know who that is. It's Mike, not this one, Michael Jordan.
Michael C. Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's what we talking about. If you're getting compared to him, yes, while you playing at 38 years old, you're gonna get compared to 25-year-old LeBron. because you're getting compared to Jordan, which to a lot of people is the standard. That's what that you surpass everybody else. Like, I mean, there's some people that would put him behind like Kareem or put him behind like another player, or on some people's list, LeBron's behind Kobe. So I'm gonna just say, man, I don't like it that we judging him like that, because obviously we don't see no 38-year-olds carrying no teams. Even when Michael was on his way out, he was on the Wizards, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? AI was on the Pistons. Nobody talk about that. Nobody even remember that. I don't even think, you know what I'm saying? Joe Johnson fizzled out of. I'm just throwing people out there when I say Joe Johnson. I'm just thinking about old players that was good, and they like at the end of the later half of their career. Like Tracy McGrady was on, I think, San Antonio for a few years, if I'm not mistaken. Nobody ever talk about that. So yeah, dog. And I seen a video today while I was doing some research on Wemby. Uh Dominique Wilkins, Atlanta Hawks legend, was on that team and they won 20 games. So, but nobody ever talk about this stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah, if you want to make a debate for him being the greatest, you're gonna get judged like a 25-year-old if you're 38. But if we just talking about judging his overall legacy for these years, why should you get docked for making it there? CeeLo said, "Why
Yeah,
punish
but that's not the
Bron?
thing. I'm not judging legacy. Yeah, like
Why
I'm not
punish?"
judging for his legacy because he still made it to the conference finals regardless of the fact. So at
So
38, he did what needed to be
what you
done. But I'm
judging?
saying
What you judging then?
I'm not judging him off his play. The thing is the question is, would you judge him?
Said,
So
would you judge him? Would you judge him like he 25?
You talking about as
Like right
a
now,
player or
take the GOAT debate out of it. Would you judge him like he was 25 as a 38-year-old?
yeah, I would. And again, us as college athletes, we know we talk about it like all the time. If we had the knowledge, the skills that we had when we were in high school or freshman year of college or sophomore year of college, we'll be way better players. Again, with you being 38, you being a vet, you being a high level playing vet, that's what you offer. Like everybody know when you come into the building, you LeBron James, you come with a certain amount of talent. And again, you gave some great examples with Tracy McGrady, you know what I mean? Boston, you got I want to say Paul Pierce. I don't know why I want to say Paul Pierce, but Paul Pierce.
Yeah, he has some throwaway years on the
That's what I'm saying.
Wizards.
And it's basically you getting players who, again, at the end of their career, they just go to a team to chase a ring, or they go into a team and they be in the shell of who they were. But you got LeBron James, who a couple nights ago gave you 40 points. You be like, shit, hell yeah, he's still LeBron James at the end of the day, 38 or not. So it's like whoever you get, that's what you get. You're not getting you as LeBron. The thing is, to his detriment, me personally, I wouldn't take him losing in the conference finals as a thing of his career, because we also know that it's a five player game. One person can take over, yeah, but if your supporting cast is supposed to be your supporting cast, how is that LeBron's fault? It's not. But if I'm judging him of the things that he could be doing, or if I'm comparing him to other people, or if I'm comparing him to a 25-year-old LeBron, yeah, I'm judging him, because that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be at his peak at this point. He's redefining the definition of being a peak athlete. Like he's exploding on numbers.
So if he's the standard, if he's the new, I'm gonna read this chat first, and then we can keep going.
Sure.
CeeLo said, "Why punish Bron? Because he did what he had to do. He took care of his body for 2 decades and still top 5 in the league." I think that's a good narrative, CeeLo. I think that's a good narrative. But like Mike said, he defining a new standard. I'm gonna give y'all a football adjacent or a football comparison, right? We got Tom Brady, who went into his 40s and was still performing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about Tom Brady in no lower light because of that last year in Tampa. We gave him Giselle divorcing him. The O-line is terrible. Oh, he has no run game. the defense, they O-line injuries. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like when it came down to Tom Brady, when he was like, oh, he's still doing he's still going for game winning drives to keep them in the game. As long as Tom back there, we can't bet against him. But he had a lesser. I feel like they had a similar type of year. Given the Bucks didn't make the playoffs, right?
No, but they did. They got bounced by the Cowboys.
Cowboys, okay, yep, forgettable. They whooped them. Yeah, man, like we don't even nobody even really gonna remember that when it's all said and done. When we looking back at it like 10 years from now, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, Tom Brady, he left the Patriots and won one with the Bucks. But we not gonna go back now and be like, oh, LeBron last year he went to the conference final. Basketball is I feel like the only sport where if you go almost to the distance or if you advance in the playoffs and you don't get a chip or a conference final, it hurts you.
Only, and I feel like it's definitely because it's sort of sport where one person can literally change the course of the entire game. Like when we think about Tom Brady, yes, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, but at the end of the day, Tom Brady, the reason that people call Tom Brady the GOAT, one of the reasons is because he made some unnamed or unknown receivers look like superstars. So again, when you compare him going to Buccaneers and he throwing to Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, he still can't get it done. Me personally, I'm a judge him for that. All the weapons you had, Rashad White, all these players where you could have been that player. But at the end of the day, football is a team game. Tom Brady can't play defense. So at the end of the day, he can put up whatever numbers he has. If your defense is playing terrible, it ain't on you. As opposed to LeBron, LeBron can score 80 points in the game in basketball if he wanted to. Not saying he will. Not saying he will.
I think, and this why I can't get behind that narrative. I can't get behind that narrative, bro, because we saw LeBron give them 30 points and a half. If you would have got 15, if you would have got 15 from two outside of AD, if you would have got 15 from two other starters, we having a totally different conversation right now. But what was the narrative? We was talking about D'Lo not playing well. Roy got thrown into the lineup last minute in the game. We got Tristan Thompson on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
come on now, bro. Like, the team aspect of basketball is understated and is undervalued because for somebody like the Nuggets, right? They have a traditional lineup. They was the better team this whole time. The Lakers just had, arguably the better player. But Jokic just won the last two MVPs. But let me get to my point. The Nuggets have a full, fleshed out starting five. Treaty. But Jamal, all-star caliber guard, all NBA caliber guard, KCP, 3-and-D, and an emphasis on the three because he shot it very well in that last series. 3-and-D player. Gets after it. He was on the Lakers championship team. Forward position, Michael Porter Jr., 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, shooter. When they want him to, he could play some defense.
Bruce Brown out there.
Get to the four, Aaron Gordon. He's not the best shooter, but he gonna play defense. He gonna be physical. He built like a football player. He played like a football player on the court. And then you got the ultimate big man in the game right now. You got a guard at center. All the 7 foot, all of the IQ. He got more LeBron game in him than I think of anybody else because he plays similar to LeBron. He just don't got LeBron athleticism. But as far as the passing and the IQ, I think they on the same type of level. And that's why I feel like also the Lakers had a harder time because while the Grizzlies was a good team, they struggle matching up with them boys. And obviously the Warriors ain't have enough. But all right, we got another comment from ABTV. No, if Brian go for 40, he's sitting out the next game. He gonna be
He said
tired
if he
of the
going for
bubble.
80.
He going for
That's
80.
hey, that's true. That nigga will be he will be on the couch the next
He gonna be
game.
on the IV. He might have got an IV when he ran to the third. When he ran with them 3 seconds
He
left.
definitely gonna be on that. He definitely gonna
I
be
thought
on
he
that.
was off the good Toradol shot. Yeah, dog.
But that's how they gonna play him though, and that's how that today he gonna be judged a little bit different because basketball is a game, or one person could take it there. But you're right. If your supporting cast ain't right, what can you do, bro? Especially if you're going against a team like that, Denver, they shooting lights out. Like you can't do nothing about that.
That was consistent. Even when Phoenix won they 2 games straight, I never deterred from my Denver pick just because I felt like they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough. They had to combine for like 80 points, KD and Book. So and those were 2 players that gave you 80 combined.
Exactly.
So it's an ultimate team game. You see it with the Heat. They play ultimate team ball. You know what I'm saying? How often do we see, and this is why I think that narrative is still understated. Let's talk about the MVPs. What MVP? Who's the last besides like Steph Curry? I don't even think he won a chip his MVP year. I don't think a lot of players who win these awards, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't go on to win it. They don't want to win a ring. It's rare. Like when LeBron was getting his trophies and All-Stars, you know, I watched my first playoff series with him against the Celtics, bro. One of my dad friends came in when I was watching the game and said, LeBron only care about winning trophies. He don't really want to win for real. He don't want to, and I ain't really know nothing about the game yet. This is like I'm introducing the basketball like through LeBron James. So I'm like, what do you mean? Like he only want trophies, bro. Like that don't make no sense. He obviously out there trying to win. Like that ain't make no sense to me, even at a young age. I'm like, how can you go out there? But like obviously looking back at the roster in hindsight, you couldn't do much with that. You got 3. He playing against 3 Hall of Famers.
Exactly.
Playing against 3 Hall of Famers. But I got another narrative for you, man. D-Hop is a free agent. He's been released by the Cardinals.
They want to be there no more. He said he want a better
2
quarterback.
Where you give me your destination and why, where he will go.
Where I think he should go, or where I think he would be the best fit.
Where you think? Yeah,
because my dream.
Obviously, gonna say your team.
No, well, yeah, he's not going to Houston no more. Like we know he's not going back to Houston. We know that for a fact.
Oh yeah, that bridge is burnt.
Yeah, that bridge is burnt. But my dream would be him to go with. Obviously, like that's my dream. I think he go Lamar. I feel like that'll do 2 focus. He can kill that narrative that Lamar is only a running quarterback, which we know if you watch ball, you know that he's not. But at the end of the day, we know that Odell Beckham isn't. He been hurt the last couple years, so I don't believe that Odell is a true number 1 just yet until he gets into that rhythm of being who he is.
I want to see Odell in the slot. I'm gonna touch on that once we get out.
Exactly, and then you got Mark Andrews like as a 1, but D-Hop is a true possession receiver, and so at the end of the day, if make Willie Snead look good, I think he can make D-Hop look good as well. So I can see that happen. That'll be my dream. If I'm seeing the team that probably got the best fit for D-Hop, I'm looking at a team like New Orleans I can see a team like New Orleans.
Yeah, that quarterback, I don't think he's going to be a fan of Derek Carr.
Yeah, but one thing I do know about Derek Carr, he's going to throw to his number 1 guy all the time.
He for sure is. He for sure you're right on.
Devontae,
he gonna throw it to him.
7-8 receptions again. He gonna throw it to him for sure. I can see him doing good in New Orleans. Obviously, you know what I mean. He can go like anywhere else, but seeing where he can go to a spot like Indianapolis, he'd be a good bridge. He'd be a good receiver for Anthony Richardson. He'd be a great receiver for Anthony Richardson because at the end of the day, all that scrambling he gonna be doing, he gonna need a person down there who's gonna be able to catch the ball. And obviously, like my 3rd pick that I believe in system at the end of the day, like I would rather play D-Hop with a great quarterback, and a lot of these great quarterbacks already have good receivers around them. So I can't say Cincinnati, I can't say New York Jets, you know what I mean? Like, but I can see him doing good in a place like Los Angeles.
Yeah, I feel like I
On the
feel like
Rams, not the Chargers.
Matthew Stafford about to go on there. He just had a spine injury. He coming back from a spine injury, so that's his availability might be questionable. But if I'm thinking about it's going to be cheating, but I'd say the Chiefs. Obviously,
Yeah.
if I'm a receiver, if I'm in D-Hop shoes, that's my dream destination. If it ain't Aaron Rodgers, if it ain't Joe Burrow, if it ain't LA, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the LA Chargers.
Right.
If it ain't any of them, and if it ain't any of them places, like I'm gonna want to go to the Chiefs because, like you said, Pat Mahomes gonna get you the ball, and D-Hop he kind of fall in that off script where he can get off script with you and play basketball. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce got such a good relationship because they was hoopers and they kind of just freestyle and it looked like pickup. So I feel like he'll mesh well in that system. It'd probably be cheating, but that's where I think it makes the most sense.
Do you think his personality a mesh though? Because you know he want to be a number one guy wherever you go, and you know in KC that's Kelce is the guy.
If Kelce and Tariq Hill can do it, bro, he'll for sure, and he want to win. He ain't getting no younger, bro. So like if I'm D-Hop, I'm putting myself in D-Hop shoes. I'm going to Kansas City because you know what I'm saying. Travis Kelce gonna get double teamed. Somebody gonna be open.
Honestly, I'll keep this open. I would not be surprised if D-Hop end up in Cleveland. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if he end up in Cleveland only because he got that rapport with.
It's not a bad narrative.
It's not a bad narrative. And at this point, we know that. So anybody's, you said what?
I said that's not a bad narrative.
So like I believe like I won't be bad at him. I won't be mad at him going to Cleveland, but at the end of the day, like you know, D-Hop need to be around a quarterback that's gonna make some shape for D-Hop. You know what I mean? Let him be D-Hop. And when he was in AZ, that's what he had. But when you're dealing with a diva like Kyler Murray, how long do you want to be there? I'm not gonna be there way too long if I'm out there with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, or I could even see like a Jacksonville because I feel like he need a quarterback that's gonna get him the ball in script. Yes, Trevor Lawrence got athletic ability, but for receivers like him, he gonna want a quarterback that's gonna get him the ball on script because you know what I'm saying. I don't think he gonna be as fast or explosive. The hands always gonna be there, the routes gonna be there, but like I feel like he gonna be getting more into this Keenan Allen type bag where I'm gonna kill you slow. The Devontae Adams bag where I'm gonna run my routes, I'm gonna route you up, and I'm gonna get open, I'm gonna catch it. He ain't never been no run past you burner, but great hands, great body control, the whole 9 yards. And while you was talking about the Ravens, just because they just got Zay Flowers right in the draft.
Yep.
I would like to see him and Odell like swap a little bit within the slot because like I said, these older receivers, they could eat up in the slot. Like if you seen Cooper Kupp, I'm all over the place, but Cooper Kupp did some great things for the slot boys in his Triple Crown season. So I want to see some more guys.
Let's go even further. Let's go even further back. Larry Fitzgerald did some dog work in the slot, if we being honest.
Larry Fitzgerald, but I'm saying these are older guys. Yeah, I want to see older guys in the slot because you know they got the old man game. They understand coverages, unlike a young receiver, like a young burner. They're gonna be on the LB who gonna be
open.
He gonna be open. They either gonna be on a nickel or some type of backer, and it's gonna be cold.
We talking all this shit, bro.
Cancel Christmas.
We talking all this, bro. But he about to end up on the Giants. Watch, he gonna end up.
I see Miami in the chat.
I do see Miami, but watch all this happen and let him end up on the Giants. Watch all this happen. He gonna be in New York with Daniel Jones. I promise you.
That's disgusting.
That's how it play out. You know, that's how it know. Playing
If
out
he go
very
there,
bad
everything he said was cap. If he go
was
there,
cap.
everything he
and
said
that's
was
the things
cap.
that. But at this point, what are the good quarterbacks that don't got good receivers that need one? Because if you go to Buffalo, he taking the backseat to Diggs instantly. Cincy, he taking the backseat to Chase. He not gonna climb the top. T.
Do you
Higgins.
really think I would that's that receiver room way too crowded? But do you really think is it about winning for him right now, or is it about being the guy?
I think it's about winning. Well, I think it's about a little bit of both. I think D Hop still want to be D Hop.
Man, look, I done showed the world
That's the
I'm
thing.
D-Hop.
He's still that talented where he can be a number one guy. Like we're not talking about a guy that's a number 2, number 3 consistently. He was AZ's number 1 receiver when he came back.
These are facts. These are facts. But
so at the end of the day, like we definitely know what he can do. So I don't see him going to a team and saying, and I want to be your number 2 guy. I want to be that gear. The thing is, his criteria is, and I want a good quarterback. A lot of these great quarterbacks have a lot of great receivers around them. The only person that we deemed that don't got great receivers around him was Lamar. Until we got Odell, he got Rashad Bateman coming back, Zay Flowers, things like that. So it's like who is in the position that needs a receiver that's a great quarterback? Unless you,
I name mine.
Like you know what I mean? Unless you want to play with a rookie like Will.
I know you ain't just
Levis in Tennessee.
You know, Levis not starting, bro.
But that's what I'm saying, though. You know what I mean? So it's like his criteria is a little bit weird because he's going to end up being a number 2, and I don't believe that he wants to be.
Listen, bro. If he goes to the Jets, if he goes to who you just named Tennessee, those are where receivers go to die. So,
oh yeah, for sure. They definitely going to die. They definitely going to die.
If you want to go somewhere where you're going to prosper as an old receiver, go to Baltimore. If you want to prosper as an old receiver, go to Baltimore.
Or take him to Atlanta.
Absolutely not.
You want to take him to Atlanta?
Absolutely not.
Desmond Ridder and Bijan?
No.
What in the
bro? He's not
Drake London.
He's not doing that, bro. If you D-Hop, you're going to go play with Desmond Ridder.
Fuck it, shit. Can't hurt. I know they're gonna pay him down.
It can actually hurt. They can't actually hurt.
They're gonna pay him down there in Titty City, man. And they're gonna pay that man. They're gonna pay that man.
Yeah, he
pay
was
him down there in
something.
Titty City, man. Pay him down there in Titty City. Get him back.
And you got the banner up. I had to throw the banner up. I'm tweaking. Follow us. If you ain't already, like, comment, subscribe, like the live. If you drop by, drop a like, a comment.
Like, tell us how you feeling. Tell them
drop
how
a
you
follow.
like my glasses or something. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. Be out here. Be outside.
Yeah, bro, y'all gonna have to hold it down because I'm about to shoot to Florida.
But
to hold it down.
Let's pivot a little bit because I got a question. I think I asked the other day in the chat. You know what I mean? I got a question. I feel like I wanted to discuss because I want to hear your answer.
All right.
Again, because I'm perplexed. But who was the last great white NBA superstar? And y'all had some great answers. But after me doing my research, I feel like the only answer that I could come up with was Gordon Hayward in years. But
I think Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love got to be the answer.
Kevin Love. Yeah. He was sending up there in Minnesota, though.
He was good. He's a champion in Cleveland. He's a champion in Cleveland. Yeah. He was Kelly Olynyk pulled his shoulder out of socket, dude. They had a chance he had a chance at 2 titles. So let's go ahead and get at that.
Where he broke that ankle.
So are you saying? No. I think Kevin Love is greater than Gordon Hayward.
Yeah. That's a great answer.
Gordon
I think
Hayward
Kevin Love.
in his own right, yeah, but it got to go to Kevin Love.
Yeah, you got to go to Kevin
Because
Love.
who else can I even think of? I can't think of nobody who wasn't like
Scalabrine.
Canadian or like
Scalabrine.
K Love was better than
K-Love.
G Hay in his prime.
G Hay in his prime for sure. Nothing even really superstar status. Yeah, because they didn't.
Because none of them was who we counting as superstar. Like what criteria are we putting for superstar? Because right now Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Ja Morant is superstar.
Exactly though. Like I'm seeing
Steph
like
is a superstar.
players like that are that guy on their team. Like a Mellow Ball is a rising
He's not a superstar.
Superstar because he's that.
He's a
guy.
rising
Donovan
star.
Mitchell was a superstar because he's that guy. Exactly like Donovan Mitchell was a superstar, rising star because he's that guy on his team. I'm saying what last white guy in the NBA that wasn't foreign like a Jokic or a Steve Nash that was that guy on his team. Kevin Love is the only answer because honestly, Kevin Love is the only answer because I don't remember anybody going out and giving you a double like that. I think it was a triple double, if I'm correct, or was it just double? But I
don't know. I can't call it, but Kevin Love is
like 20 games straight or
is the correct answer. But if you want to talk about who the right answer is actually
John Stockton.
John Stockton, yeah.
That is.
He's the last superstar.
So are we saying that white NBA players haven't had a prominent person in a league to his caliber and since really John Stockton?
It's hard to be a superstar, bro, and the majority of the NBA is black. So like it's
hard to be a white superstar. It's not like it's hard to be a superstar.
It's hard to be a superstar, but we're in a league that's like saying like one of us going to go be in the NHL and we become a superstar. It's gonna be rare. It's gonna be rare. It's 32 NHL players that's black.
Yeah.
In a whole league.
I believe it though. I ain't tell you wrong though.
But the people who got the potential, the people who got the potential,
they got that boy out of that boy out in OKC who just got drafted last year.
Oh, Chet Holmgren.
He could be a chance to be a star. Like if he actually plays like it, I think he got a chance to be a star.
I'm saying who the closest right now who could be that dude. I'm saying probably Tyler Hero, and then after that it's probably gonna be like before I even want to say that, I want to say if people choose to say Austin Reeves, because if Austin Reeves is who they saying what he should get paid, he could be on the cusp of being a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got the shooting. He got the shooting in between game. He could finish. He could pass.
Mm-hmm.
So he got the opportunity to. But can he keep up? And being a superstar, you got to be consistent. Like
exactly,
you can't be having no like
can't fall off.
15-point game, 10-point game. Like
can't be playing like Josh Giddey.
Yeah, Josh Giddey got the potential to be a superstar if he.
And there got to be on that.
So
you got to be on that.
Yeah, man. Like that's all it is to it. But here go. I got another narrative for you though. Got another narrative for you. Hold on. Let me get to that joint. Do older superstars stunt younger players' development? You hear what I said?
Yes. No, I didn't hear what you said. You said
all right. I got a better question. I got a better question for you.
He is Chaz.
Yeah, I got a better question. Then we're gonna get to that one. I got you. So, if you was coming out of high school right now, knowing everything you know, knowing the whole college process, you had your whole career, coming out of high school now, it's your senior year. It's National Letter of Intent Day, and a school that gets they both Division I schools.
Mhm.
School gets no games on CBS, nothing on ESPN, but you're a running back, and you lead the league, your conference. You lead the conference.
Oh, this is the Cam
And
Newton question.
let me finish. You lead the conference in rushing every 3 or 4 years, however long you say, and then you go to state, rush for 500 a year. Well, nah, 500 is still like a lot for RB. Like, all right, yeah, whatever be comparable to that, like 500.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have like 1,000 yard season or something, 800 yard season.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say like state. I'd say a school like on a more national televised scale, like Florida.
LSU, Florida.
Yeah, like LSU or Florida,
Texas,
something like that.
whatever.
Yeah, one of them schools. Based off the route that I would take, and based off the route that I did take in real life, I would probably still go for the other school where I could be the conference leader and going out of that. Only because at the end of the day, your talent will get noticed wherever you go to. And that's not me just like saying that just cause, but if I'm great example, Joy Bell. That's my cousin, of course. Joy Bell. He won a D2 Harlan Hill, which is basically the D2 Heisman, and he laid away, you know what I mean, in rushing. Ended up getting picked up by the Lions, didn't get drafted, or he did get drafted, and picked up by the Lions, had a long-standing career. Another thing, we talking about running backs, let's switch. Quarterbacks. Ben Roethlisberger played at Miami of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? MAC conference. He's not playing in the Big 10. He's not playing in the Pac-12. He's not playing in the Big 12. He played in the Miami of Ohio at the MAC. Seen a career that he could have had. So at the day, I do understand the exposure piece. I understand that. But in this day and age where everybody has a little bit of exposure, or you can use that to your advantage being the best player where you're at, I would go to a place around value because you know for a fact you're going to get the touches. You're going to get the touches. You're going to get the love. You're going to get that. If I'm leading the league, like if I'm leading the conference and rushing 3 years straight, you know, breaking 1,000 yards, at some point, somebody going to give me a look. They're going to say, you know what, he got to be some talent here. Now the thing is, only thing that's comparable is the conference. He's not playing X, Y, and Z. But on that stage, you got a player that's only getting 500 yards inside the third, and he's there for 3 years straight. Why isn't he breaking 1,000 yards? Why is it every time there's a class coming up, they're recruiting a player in his position group?
You get into the details.
I'm just saying though, it's like that's what
the details.
What it come down to, because at the end of the day, if I'm a player and I'm giving you 500 yards a season, but I'm not breaking that 1,000-yard barrier, is it the coaches? Is it the recruiting trail? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if I'm at a school like a LSU and I'm giving you 500, yes, I could be a dog. But you wouldn't know that because maybe I'm playing at a school like
you might be the third guy on the depth chart getting that 500.
Exactly. You might be the third guy on the depth chart, which means that you could be only playing in the third and fourth quarter.
Exactly.
Because you maybe not a starter. And so at the end of the day, again, if I'm a player, if I'm a young guy, I'm going to a school where I know I can shine because and this is very cliche, but if you can play, they're gonna find you. You know, from experience, we done seen people around us do it. People like myself and others have experienced that as well. If you can play, they're gonna find you.
These facts.
That's how the game goes.
These facts.
So if you're a player out there and you watching this, you see a school like Fair State. Fair State is a D2 school. They just won the back-to-back national championships. Fair State produce NFL players all the time.
Fair State, if you even want to go to, you know what I'm saying, Grand Valley.
You know what I mean? And they got
places like
so
that.
They ain't even a lot of the guys that's getting the looks were not starters. They freshman and sophomore year in college. A lot of them came like on the scene, maybe in the day sophomore year, junior, senior year. So it took them a while to very well develop. You know what I mean? Like they didn't come on the scene, crashed it out.
But this good. This good game. This good to hear. If you're an athlete, our audience is like 18 to 20. So you know what I'm saying. These are guys going into schools, and they had the portal when we didn't have the portal. And I say the little piece I could give and add on to this: go where you want it as well. Like even if the smaller school and it might be another it might be the next smaller school, you know what I'm saying? They might have a little something different. They calf, their dorms might be different, but the coaches actually want you there. They genuinely interested. Get in where you fit in and not where you just tolerate it. Or you just gonna be like it looked cool and it seemed cool and it seemed like the place to be when it's not, or chasing that big school because
Exactly.
we see all this stuff, man. We saw like I know everybody ain't Dion, but you go to JSU, you know what I'm saying? Make JSU, he made JSU something again, make Jackson
Hmm.
something again, and then he turned that into Colorado. So the league might be your Colorado in this situation. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you as a young athlete listening to this, get in where you fit in. Vet them, recruit them like they're recruiting you, interview them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you got somebody in your corner, a mom,
Go
uncle,
place that want you.
dad, you know what I'm saying? Take them along with you and make
Go,
sure that's what's good for you.
yep. Go to a place that want you. Do your research to see where you gonna fit into that scheme. Don't just go over there because it look cool. If you going into college, you playing a running back? Are you a power back? Are you a speed back? If you a quarterback, are you going to an option school? Are you
Check
going
that scheme out.
exactly like how are you going to a school that's very run heavy? Is it a run and shoot? Is it an option school? If you a DB, are you going to a school that plays mostly zone, mostly man? What kind of corner are you? So it's
Yeah.
like things like that that you really got to take your due. A lot of coaches really will tell you, but some coaches really just don't you there. One of the things that you don't kind of become because a lot of people see it is a lot of people see a school like Alabama being a football factory and
Yeah.
saying, well, Reuben Foster was the first couple years he played on special teams predominantly and took where he's at, but also he's Reuben Foster. You know what I
But
mean? So don't
he also worked to get there though. You know
exactly.
what I'm
So it's
saying?
like don't think just because you go into a school like Alabama you can play special teams. You got to play. You also seen players play at those high level that we played with. You like they was D1. We played against them. They was D1. So again, like don't chase the name. Definitely don't chase the name because if you code, you code. That's how it's gonna be. Maybe everybody not meant to go to the league either, but that's another conversation for another day. But at the end of the day, right now,
Yeah, you gotta
what it
do
look, you got to do what you got to do to
what's
make sure
best for
you
you.
exactly. One of the things I was always taught or always told, and it applies to everything in life. Go for the girl that likes you, not the one that you like,
Yeah,
because
that's
the one
something
that
else you can give to him too, man.
exactly
We talking sports.
the one that you like, you're gonna allow every, but the one that like you, she gonna show you she like you. So again, if these schools are that girl that like you, and the one that's really gonna treat you well and hank you up, and maybe it's a school that ain't Alabama, Florida, LSU, Michigan State, Michigan, but it's a Grand Valley State, it's a Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, and James Madison. What can it hurt? That's gonna be the school that's gonna propel you and make sure you get everything that you need. So again, if I'm a young player, that's where I'm going. I'm going to a school that actually gonna put me in a position to win by giving me the touches that I need. Because you could be that player that if you that good of a player, they gonna help you get there.
These are facts, and this goes for all the athletes on here. I know we sports, so we hitting y'all timeline, and we getting in y'all if y'all going off to college and doing these things. Like, hey, this is good. This is a good insight. This is something I wish I was told, and I'm glad Cam is reaching these kids that are going to schools like this because I'm pretty sure he's getting some talented kids and getting their mind right. And you know, guy, girl, same thing. You gotta do what's good, what's best for you. I'm gonna say it again, man. But shout out to Cam though for getting that young man mind right because he's gonna go to a big school.
It's gonna be a number. It's gonna be a number.
You're gonna be
Probably
a
gonna be a
number.
dual number.
Don't be a
Gonna be a dual number, man.
but man, speaking of that, what do you think about this one? Do you think an older player can hinder younger players growth and talent.
I want to say that's very circumstantial, depending on the place you go to. And I'm gonna give you 2 examples as to why I believe that's circumstantial. Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love.
Okay.
Great example. Aaron Rodgers was an older player that wasn't ready to leave yet. They was trying to replace him. And now we seen how he acted. He acted out, played quite within the last 3-4 years. Drama King, ain't trying to go nowhere, this, that, and the third. So I feel like that hindered Jordan Love's development because when you got a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' caliber, you're not ready to move on yet. But you trying to move on, you know what I mean? Things like that. So I feel like that can happen.
Yeah, that was all he knew, though. That was all he
Exactly.
knew because he came against, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He came up against Brett Favre. I'm pretty sure he learned that from Brett Favre. So.
Exactly. And so that's why I'm saying there's 2 instances, but another instance is Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith. You got Andy Reid taking a chance on Patrick Mahomes. Basically, red shirt Patrick Mahomes, let him play that week 16 game to see who he was, but he didn't get the full-time start until the next year.
Right.
So he gave him that year to develop. And so, again, it really just depends on the system you go to, because if you go behind a player like Aaron Rodgers, who probably learned that from Brett Favre because they didn't have the best relationship.
I'm gonna do.
He could have really hindered his development because they're on some real life competition deal, or even better, Malik Willis and Ryan Tannehill.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Man, look, it was reports coming out of camp last year when it was like, well, Ryan Tannehill ain't trying to help him with the playbook because he's trying to keep his job.
I think Ryan Tannehill is absolutely right in that situation where the front office, Ryan Tannehill and Mike Vrabel, wasn't on the same page because obviously they wanted Malik Willis and Vrabel had a different type of idea. Come from the Patriots tree, you know what I'm saying? They usually have a veteran quarterback, you know, had a lot of stability at quarterback, didn't have to go through a lot of overhaul. So that was new to him, where he's like, Ryan Tannehill is my guy. He's had us competitive. So I'm gonna keep rolling with Ryan Tannehill. All he got to do is take care of the ball. We're gonna run it and play defense. Malik Willis is not that. He's the off script guy, the athletic guy, big arm guy. You know what I'm saying? A project. They didn't want that. And obviously Ryan Tannehill, he's on his second team. He's trying to get a contract. He's trying to, you know, this is his team basically. So I feel like in that case, yeah, he did hinder his progress, and he was ain't that. But like you say, it could be good situations, and it's not always quarterback. It could be running backs, DBs, receivers doing the same types of things. But obviously, quarterback is the most important position on the football team. So
there's always going to be like those avenues and things like that. But again, like at the end of the day, we just hope that a lot of these young players, just like we just talked about, go to a place with the right scheme as well. And we talk about a player like Malik Willis, who has the scrambling ability to decide the third, but you're going to a team where you're going to hand it off to Derrick Henry 25 times a game. Are you really a quarterback that's going to go into that scheme and really ball out? That's not his fault, though. That's where he got drafted to. But
yeah, it's not his fault.
Saying, though, it's like there's other things that come into play, because at the end of the day, when you go over there, you're not finna be the quarterback that you thought you were going to be.
I just think he got to get out of there.
He got to get up out of there. And I think he'll be better set in a place like, and we talk about, I talk about it a lot. I think he'll go behind the quarterback like Deshaun Watson, where he could learn from Deshaun Watson. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback at one point in his career. You know what I mean? And things like that. Again, he's not ready to start because he hasn't had that. So playing behind a person like Deshaun Watson could put him in an avenue to say, you know what, I'm not trying to be a career backup, but I could be a person that has a somewhat similar skill set and go from there and learn from him. And so I think he can do something like that and take that route and move on. But until then, because he obviously in a player like with his position, you already see that they just Levis. So you know they ain't trying to keep you there. Like you ain't trying to play. So at the end of the day,
him and Levis is the same. They're the same type of player too. So I don't even know why. If I'm Tannehill, I'm mad all over again because I'm like, you just drafted 2 athletic quarterbacks all over the same within the span of 2 years, bro. So yeah, I don't know what they got going on. it's a hot mess over
Right
there.
on the wall, right on the wall for real. They trying to get Cuz up out of there. So hopefully, man, them young boys can do what they can to get up out of there, or they can go to the XFL and ball out.
I know we went the NFL route with this, but this is actually what I wanted. What the other side of this I want to talk about. So obviously, when you went to DU, there was no seniors. So in my case, I had a positive experience with my seniors because they took the time out to teach me the playbook. And like, you know what I'm saying? They took the time out to teach me the playbook. They stayed after meetings and camp and fall camp. You know what I'm saying? You know what fall camp is like. You want to go home. You want to go home after. And they all stayed off campus and all that. So for them, you know what I'm saying? I think older players actually in the college game or the high school game is important if you got the right type of people. And like you said, culture comes into play and all these things. Because like I learned it and I took that to like some of the younger guys who I hung out with at DU, whether it was rides, let them do laundry, the whole, you know what I'm saying, helping them with the plays and all that type of stuff. So I really think it's a culture thing and not necessarily. And I took that culture I got from a different place and brought it there, bro. So yeah, bro. I think older guys is good, but you gotta have the right type of older guys around you. You gotta watch. Some of these dudes be old crockety. Don't want to give up their tender. Don't want to give up their tenure. Don't want to get off that seat.
Yeah, they don't want to give it up. So that's why you gotta get it up out of the mud. If you really your dog, gotta get it up out of the mud.
But that was my last little piece, man. But I'm about to get us up out of here. It's getting kind of late. I gotta hop on a flight.
Be safe,
but
safe
we're
travels.
still gonna be pushing out content. You know what I'm saying? Yep, safe travels. I'm gonna be hopping on the plane. But thanks for everybody that stopped by, everybody that dropped a comment. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow the Instagram, TikTok. Follow me on Twitch at Melly Sylvester. Link is in the bio.
Yeah, follow the show. Great
Follow
content.
Follow the show.
Follow the show, man. We got big things coming.
And without further ado, pause. I'm gonna get us up out of here.
All right.